Hey, hi there, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, lads and ladesses, and friends and neighbours. Welcome once again to Freeline FM with me, Rabbi Israel Ben Heeman, sometimes known as Doc Roy Hemingway, sometimes even more daringly known as the Autistic Kid. Yeah, I'm a political commentator. I'm a medical physician and I'm autistic. And I sometimes wonder if this particular perspective I have on life is so much out of step with perhaps the rest of the world. I don't think it is. I certainly don't feel that it is. But of course, autistic people do feel things in a slightly different way because the brain function is slightly offset of the normal wiring diagram, if you want to put it that way. I like to put it that way because we think in a different way. We have different perspectives, and generally speaking, it gives us certain gifts that other people, generally speaking, don't have. We see things that other people simply don't see. Usually it's something quite obvious. Other times it's something very serious, and we see visions of the future, which are not really visions. It's just common sense deduction, really, that allows us to see things from a certain perspective that unfortunately other people are unable to see. Having said all of that, okay, autistic people, especially people like myself, Asperger's syndrome autism, makes us really quite different in many respects, especially if you were to, you probably realize how different if you were to observe me having one of my absolutely horrendous autistic meltdowns. They really are really, really bad, and all I can do is apologize for them because I behave like a 7-year-old lunatic child having a tantrum, and I say and do terrible things, and all I can do at the end of it is apologize when sanity returns to me, and it's because my sensory perceptions, my sensory systems become rapidly overloaded. Now, everybody has what we call a breaking point. Everybody will lose their temper eventually, given enough of the right stimulation. With autistic people, it doesn't seem to take a great deal. Well, certainly not in my case, anyway. And some things that I find extremely upsetting is I'm trying to get this camera straight. Something that I do find extremely distressing is having things flashed onto my telephone screen that I don't want to see. I'm not interested in the tens of millions of advertisements that just bang their way onto the screen, and then for some reason you can't get rid of them. You've just got to wait it out until it has finished running its 32-second or 96-second duration. Excuse me, rubbing my nose at the moment, but I'm suffering a bit from my annual hay fever. Actually, I'm suffering more than a bit. Whenever I have hay fever, I have to take medication, which is it's almost like a sleeping drug. You walk around half asleep all the time, which is pretty good for controlling my autism. However, all of that said, let's get on to the subject that I actually came to talk to you about. Now, it's on everybody's lips at the moment, especially in the Western world. We have a problem here, which has been foisted upon us by the lunatic leftist politicians, people like Angela Merkel, Tony Blair, Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer is absolutely insane, in my opinion. The man is totally insane. There's so many of them, and they're destroying the freedoms of the world, and they're destroying it in the name of Islam. Now, there can be no doubt about it. Islam is the most destructive, impossible to get along with, megalomaniac's lifestyle that has ever existed on the face of this earth. Believe me, there has never been anything anywhere close to being as evil, wicked, and destructive as Islam truly is, all the way across the world. And I have to say this, as much as people may not like it, unless Islam is totally obliterated, wiped out, decimated, and destroyed, there will be no peace on this earth. Islam is absolutely evil, and you don't need to look very far for the evidence of it. It's a daily basis stream of murder committed in the name of Allah, the Muslims, against ordinary innocent people who don't want anything to do with that stinking religion. And we need to be careful here about that. I mean, I call it a filthy, stinking religion. I suppose one way of looking at it. It's not the only way for sure. Islam is a completely different facet to that which one would expect from decent, human, loving, caring human beings. Islam is absolutely evil, destructive, and it has to be destroyed. And I'm sorry to put it this way, but if that means that 1.8 billion of these bastards have to die, then so be it. Because if we don't put a stop to them, they will absolutely certainly put a stop to us. They simply do not want to live in peace with anyone. I have to some extent, not extensively, but I have to some extent come to a sort of roundup within my own mind of how things develop and how things have developed over many centuries in terms of religious fervour. People who love their religious way of life, I have no qualms with that. That people live the way they want to live, worshipping the God they want to worship. I can only tell them that the God that I worship, our Lord Jesus Christ, is by far and away well and truly recognized as the one true living God. And Islam is recognized by far and away as the most destructive, criminal, murderous, evil regime that has ever occupied a space on the face of this solitary planet within the Goldilocks zone. What should we do about Islam? I mean, everyone says, well, there's only one way with them, and that's to kill them. They spend their entire lives swarming all over the Middle East, the Far East, Africa, and so on, slaughtering anyone who is not a Muslim. And so you have to conclude from that alone that if they're prepared to do that, they're prepared to kill people by the bushel because they're not Muslims, then we, the non-Muslims, must be prepared to do the same to them, to do it more prolifically, do it more quickly, do it more aggressively, and more successfully. It's a sad situation when you find that your only way of life is by extinguishing the life of someone else. It's quite extraordinary that anyone should ever consider that that is a reasonable way of life, but it's exactly what the Muslims do. And this is where I have to agree with the Muslims. The best way to get rid of that kind of enemy is to slaughter them. And unfortunately, they have undertaken to slaughter 2 billion Christians of varying denominations, whilst we're rapidly approaching the juncture where Western Christianity is about to declare war on Islam. It's a fair old step away from that yet. But it's not so far away from being the one religion that has to be exterminated in the Western world. It's almost there. Now, we have the lunatic left to thank for trying to integrate the wickedness of Islam into Western cultural societies. And as we can see in Great Britain now, the government is prepared to carry on with its agenda of Islamization. The people of the country are devoted to turning that back. They will not accept it. There's a clash between the two, the government that won't listen and the people who won't accept the government's dictates anymore. At the moment, it's a sort of uneasy status quo, but not for long. I have a feeling with only 2 years left to run in the White House, or perhaps a little bit longer, or President Donald J. Trump, he's probably going to get involved in securing the security, current welfare and future well-being of the British people, the indigenous native people of Great Britain, by supplying them with weapons so that they can fight and slaughter their oppressors. The problem with oppressors is that they never believe that they're going to get beaten. Sometimes it happens over time. It did in the Soviet Union. Sometimes it happens over a very short period of time because of bloodletting. Adolf Hitler in the Second World War. One thing is for sure, the leftists of the Western world have adopted a Soviet style of communism. Andy Burnham and his ascent to power in the British so-called democracy demonstrates that there is no democracy in Britain at all. A man that can go from a simple mayoral position to being Prime Minister of Great Britain without a single vote from the people is absolute proof that there is no democracy in Great Britain. And it's a system that has to be destroyed, rethought, rebuilt, and republished in the hearts of people who see and seek freedom in every aspect of their lives. Where do we go from here? Well, as I said, the enemy, of course, is Islam. The Americans are now finding out that the people like Linda Sarsour is not just an extremist, she's a murderous extremist. Mamdani is also the same ilk. He's of the murderous kind. And you look at the events of the last 5 years in Dearborn, Michigan, where an entire American city has been Islamicized. So much so that ordinary American people are terrified to walk the street in case they're pounced upon by what is known as the Sharia police. The Americans are taking some steps to condemn Sharia and to make it illegal. But making the hijab illegal is only half the battle. We need to make it illegal to be what's inside it. If you're a Muslim, you must not be allowed in the Western world. I've no problem with you. If you personally want to be a Muslim, go ahead and be a Muslim. If you want Sharia law, go ahead and have Sharia law. Well, whatever floats your boat, baby. If it lights your candle, go right ahead and do it. But not in my backyard. If you want to come here and force other people into your way of belief, you will find opposition, and that opposition will kill you. We know this is true by searching through the annals of political and religious history. Wherever there has been a push to inflict the will of someone else upon the masses, it has always ended in one thing. And it's the one thing the left never want to talk about. Violence. But what is violence? What is violence? What is it really? You see, I view violence perhaps differently to other people. I view violence as a reaction to a situation which has become intolerable. And sitting down in a group, 6, 7, 8, 10 people, gathered on a couple of park benches, sitting eating sandwiches and drinking a couple of cold beers on a balmy Saturday evening, and suddenly you're attacked by half a dozen Muslims who don't believe it's okay for you to eat what's in the sandwich or to drink what's in the can. This kind of behaviour has to be stopped, and it will be stopped. And what I'm going to say now is addressed to the Muslims. Get out. Get out of the Western world, because if you don't, you will be carried out feet first. It's coming. People will not be pushed around. We've proven that in 2 world wars, World War II and a half, Korea, and in Vietnam. People will not be bullied and pushed around by you and your filthy, evil, stinking religion. They won't. You may have the politicians who are in power at the moment on your side for the time being, but that time being is running out. The age of the lunatic leftist politician is coming to a close. And when it all comes to a close all at the same time, especially if somebody like Donald J. Trump steps up and says, I'll give you weapons if you want to overthrow your government, you've got a recipe for a bloodbath. And this, I promise you, if this starts, there will be no surviving Muslims. You will be slaughtered to a man. If you want to save your own lives, and I want to save your lives, because I don't particularly think a Holocaust is a great way forward in the endeavour of procuring better things for humanity. I don't think wholesale slaughter is a way to achieve that. But I'm prepared to accept it if it brings about the emancipation of the oppressed, if it returns the freedom that I once enjoyed as a boy. Then I will be forced by good conscience to accept that wholesale violence against Islam is the only way to freedom. I don't know if what I've said reasonably and quietly makes any sense to you. I really do hope it does. I hope it does something else. I hope it spurs in your heart that once taken for granted and now lost right to enjoy your freedom and pursue your own happiness in your own way. We've had Islam encroaching on our freedom here in the Western world for nearly 50 years. It's time to bring their war to an end with a war that they can't win. It's not what I want, but it is what I see. We autistic people are noted for seeing things that other people simply overlook. Galileo. Many years ago, when I was a serving soldier, that was my nickname, Galileo. Because I'm autistic, I see things that other people simply just don't see. I hope the Muslims will now take note, because if you don't, you're going to find a place in hell, and you're going to find it a lot faster than you thought. And for the lunatic leftists like Hillary Clinton, who says Islam is peaceful, Islam is loving, Islam wants to embrace the freedoms of the world. I'm not sure if Hillary Clinton is just a liar or self-delusional. Either way, I don't care. Hillary Clinton and her kind are outrageous lunatics. Come and see us. On the hillside of peace, in the valleys of love, on the landscape of freedom. Defeat Islam and rejoin the human race. Goodbye for now, my brothers and sisters, and may God bless you.
Thanks for being with us here at the Christian Nation, brothers and sisters. Until next time, goodbye for now, and God bless you.